Hey, you made it. Good on you. You're maybe perhaps thinking about taking a more rebellious path. Like stepping outside of that norm of self-hate, of lack of self-acceptance. It's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. The thing is that going on this path of self-acceptance is a rebellious act. It is so outside of what the world tells us to be that I'm already really proud of you, even for coming this far, because it can be scary. It's not a well-worn path. Trust me, it's absolutely not. But it's a worthwhile path. It is absolutely a worthwhile path that leads you to feel okay with who you are. And I think that's a beautiful thing. As I said in my last video, I think it's absolutely horrible how we're taught not to believe in ourselves. Taught that it's okay to just not be okay with who you are. It happens, you notice you have conversations and Mean Girls, that movie comes to mind right now, where they're all sitting around talking and Katie, that main character who's been in Africa and hasn't understood the world in the modern sense, they're all standing around all the other girls and they're like, oh my God, I hate my pores. And like my thighs are touching and there's all this stuff and Katie says something about her not liking her BO. I think that's what it is. And they all like, ew. And she never understood that there's a world where people don't like themselves. She's always just functioned as a person and not really paid much attention to it. And I think that's so true of the world that we live in. The world that we live in is it's perfectly okay to dislike yourself, but you're a bit of a weirdo if you do. We're also busy trying to fit into boxes. I want to go to this box. I want to go to this box. Some of us are a square. Some of us are circles. Some of us are triangles. In fact, I think that we in general, we're unique. And I want to be able to share with the world for you to be able to celebrate your uniqueness. Now, it seems like a bit of a, what's the word? Cliche to celebrate your uniqueness. But the thing is, it's the thing that you have. The one thing that you do better than anybody else in the world is be you. Nobody else can do that. And I say again, it's taken me a lifetime to come to that conclusion. I've always heard it. I've always been like, oh yeah, I could celebrate who I am. But really deep down, all I wanted to be was in the box with everybody else. So I want to be able to teach you how to be unapologetically you. Unapologetically. Have you ever been with somebody who's just completely self-assured? I know I have, more recently as well. I met somebody who was completely themselves and I thought to myself, oh my God, I got really intimidated. Tense and thinking to myself, well, maybe all of a sudden they're trying to take my power away or maybe I'm not good enough in their presence or something bizarre like that. Then I had a good think about it and realized that this person is just complete in their own power and that it can actually allow me to be complete in my power. I've of course got strategies to help myself overcome that, which I want to share with you as well. The thing is that person was never trying to compete with me. But when I tried to compete with them, it was just not going to work because I wasn't feeling whole. But in a moment, I was able to change that and be friends with this person, which I think is a beautiful thing. We can be shine and whole together. So what have I done? I've created a workshop series. It's a 6-week workshop series where we tackle some of these issues. First and foremost, getting to know yourself. The whole question of who am I? Getting to know who you are and also befriending that. I think that's a big one, befriending all the bits that you don't necessarily like. Because it's really easy to like the things about you. Oh, well, I like that part, I like that part, but I would change that and that's crappy and I don't want to do that. So let me get rid of that and then I'll like myself. So if I could lose 5 kilos, I would love myself then. If I could get my boyfriend or girlfriend, I would love that. Whatever it happens to be. We all have these things that if we get that, then we can. Then we'll give ourselves permission. Ever lost the 5 kilos? Yeah. Tends to not work. You still don't like yourself. I've been there so many times, which I'll share with you in the workshops. So getting to know yourself and befriending all of you, including the darkness, including the parts that you don't like. I think that's really important. Learning how to trust yourself. Trust is a big one. If we don't know how to trust ourselves, how can we navigate around the world? We tend to make choices that we don't believe in and then feel bad about ourselves. And the negative self-talk, who has that? Yes. The negative self-talk comes in and overrides us. So we'll talk about negative self-talk as well and how to overcome it, how to change the negative self-talk. We're also going to have a look at how to set boundaries, for yourself. And that comes with the trust. How do we trust ourselves enough to set boundaries with people, communicate really effectively between each other and for ourselves? It's a rebellious workshop. We're going against the grain. I would love for you to join me. If you'd like to, if you're thinking that maybe this is something that could be you, if you feel like you could go with some of this information, if it sounds like something like you would do, if you can see yourself learning to love yourself a bit more, then pop your details in the contact form below. Let me know a bit about you. I'll get in touch. We'll have a chat. It may not be for you, but it's worth finding out, isn't it? Come rebel with me.